All right, here we go. Well, so the Lord's been working on me, and it's amazing. He's done some crazy stuff recently, and I want to share some of those things with you. This is in mind-blowing experiences, and I want to back up to my first traumatic experience as a child. And then here's the thing about God is because he's outside of time, right? He can shift things around like he's playing chess, right? And we're all over here just playing checkers, and so understand that, his word, and this is the thing, I'm going to put my hand on the Bible here and say, Lord, I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as well as I can remember it. In Jesus' name, I ask you to help me with that. And let whoever finds this see that I am telling you the truth. And again, this is not something I want to tell you. Some of these things sound psychotic, just to be transparent. I get that. But here's the thing is, I want to be able to go, okay, well, if you found this channel, then you must be seeking God in some way, shape, or form, or you're on the wicked side. And I didn't even believe that there was such a beast for the longest time. But if what he says is true, which is I knitted you in your mother's womb before I even created the earth, right? So what he basically said is he knew me before he even created all this stuff. And he goes, you know what? I'm gonna put you in, and I don't know how it went, of course, but I'm going to put you in this mother and father because of these generational things, because he's already seen the beginning from the end. I am the beginning. I am the Alpha and the Omega, right? Anyway, so he said, okay, well, I choose you for this time because I'm a generational breaker, right? And I didn't know this. You come in forgetting who you are. You don't know who you are and why you're here. You don't know which team you're assigned to. And here's the thing is that he gives you free will, so you get to go whichever way you choose. But at the same time, and that's complex, I won't even get into all of that because I don't know the mind of God. His thoughts are tenfold greater than I could ever even think. And trust me, I think a lot, all right? And then he shows me stuff like this, and then he tells me to do things that I'm just like, oh my God, Lord, just like Gideon, I need a sign. And then I've showed you my mind-blowing experience about selling the house where he goes, oh, there's a sign. He's got such a great sense of humor too. Let me give you an example. And the story I'm going to tell you is not funny at all, by the way. Trigger warning, if you've been abused, if you've been abused by your parents, if you've been in violent situations and so forth, that's exactly what I'm talking about here. But I'm also going to show you how God uses all of those things. And this is just mind-blowing. So yesterday, I'm out getting ready for yet another garage sale because I was like, as I was telling some of these stories, I was like, man, I wonder what I have underneath the porch. I don't even know what I got. So I went underneath the porch. I pulled out all my stuff. I went through it. And what did I find of all things but this guy right here? It's a Garcia Mitchell 300. It used to have the handle on it. It was just still probably out there in one of those buckets, and I'm going to find it. But it's funny because that I was going to tell the story, and then he shows me this, and I'm just like, oh, you're funny. Like the picture popped up on my phone also, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. The way this happened, so I'm going to back up to, I'm probably, I don't know, maybe 10, 11, something like that. And understand, I grew up in a time in the 70s. That had to be, I don't know, 19, so I was 68, so 78, I'm probably 78, right? 78, 79. I was probably 10 or 11, right? Met my buddy who you know, and again, I'm not going to mention names in this, although he's passed. So he's one of my friends, but it was a time where as a kid, you could go out and just, like I used to tell my parents, hey, I'm going to be gone. Like it would be Friday night. And we would go camp out in the woods as 10-year-old, 11-year-old kids with shotguns, fishing poles, tents. We'd set it up and we lived for 3 days. We would, matter of fact, sometimes we wouldn't even take nothing. We would just live off of what we caught and killed and ate. So squirrels and fish. I'm just telling you the truth. I put my hand on the Bible. It's the way it was. We'd steal some of our parents' liquor and put it in a thing. We'd drinking. We'd do stupid stuff. I'm just telling you, we did. Anyway, so one day, my dad's working for Jacobson Home Light. He's an abusive alcoholic at this point in time. But again, that was a small percentage. 80% of the time he's doing pretty well. But this day, I was going to go fishing. I had his fishing pole, and I was going to go fishing and whatever. And he's drunk out in the garage, upset about something. I don't even know what the deal was, but he had his own demons, of course. And there's a perfect example of somebody who was also chosen, because he was chosen to have me for these moments, for these end times, right? My mom too, and I could go into some details about her life, and I should. But again, I'm telling my story, and it involves them. But here's the thing is, so I go, hey Dad, because I was going to use my Zebco 33 like I always do, but I saw that pole over there, and I was like, Dad, do you think can I use your pole? And he's like, well, before you go anywhere, you better mow that lawn. And I was like, ugh. And I got two buddies waiting for me that are neighborhood kids, and I said, dudes, hang on a second. I go, man, let me just mow the lawn real quick, because I had a 16-horse rider, and we had an 1.5 acre lawn. It was just going to be zip, 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 and they were going to help me just push mow real quick around the stuff and weed eat, and we're done. So it took us all of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, right? Maybe I'm 13. I don't even know. It's because it's right around that lawn mowing business time. So I was probably 13 maybe. And anyway, so I said, okay, well, so I had grabbed this pole and I set it down. Well, the way I set it down was right next to the 16-horse rider. And so the pole was like, here's the back tire. The pole was sitting right here, and it was just barely like this. Well, I fired up. I didn't think nothing about it because I'm in a hurry, because I'm like, dang it, now I'm distracted. I pull out of the garage, and as I pull out of the garage, the back tire runs over the fishing pole and hits the reel and just crushes the handle and the bail. And the second it happened, of course, because I know my dad's a violent person, the second it happened, I'm coming out of the garage, I'm on the thing, my friends are right here going, they're getting ready to grab the push mower and the weed eater, and I see that happen, and self-preservation kicked in, and because I was like, oh my God, my dad saw it, he heard it, it cracked his pole. I knew I was going to be beaten, right? And so I just jumped off and started running. I left the mower running, and it's going down the driveway, and my buddy runs over to grab it. As I'm taking off, as my dad goes, God bless America, you son of, you broke my pole. And I mean, like, I'm getting chill bumps just telling you about it, because it's a flashback, and it was terrifying. But anyway, I jump off of the thing, I take off running, and I'm a fast little kid, and I go around the corner. Well, Dad's fast too. He jumps up, and there was a little Boy Scout shovel right next to the garage, and he grabs it on the way out and chases me, and just like I'm just far enough right there, and he whacks, boom, and hits me right there on the head. Bam! Hits me hard enough that I fall on the ground, and of course I'm already crying because I'm terrified. I get whacked on the back of the head. I fall to the ground and piss myself, lose bladder control, and I fall on the ground, and I'm like, ah! And he's like, oh my God. Like, then he snaps out of it. Oh my God, I've just beat my kid in the head with a shovel. And I'm just like, ah! And he goes, gar, 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 and then just goes back in the garage. My friends are terrified. They've been traumatized and I'm traumatized, and I've pissed myself. Fishing trip's canceled, and the pole is, of course, my pole's broken, and now we're in chaos. Now, so here's the funny thing is I don't remember much after that, because I'm sure, I went in, and I know Mom got involved and was upset at Dad, and they checked me, and I was okay because I got a hard head and whatever. But I went in and changed and whatever. I don't even remember what happened. But I tell you that story to show you that's just one of many traumatic, terrorizing situations. And fortunately, most of the time my sister was there, or my mom was present when he would attack me in some way, shape, or form, or attack them. And fortunately, we were family, and we were all, like, Dad trained me and my sister to be ninjas. I mean, we're throat choppers. And of course, we didn't know it because we're little kids, and we didn't realize the power that we had until later in life. But anyway, we would jump on and we would fight together against him. Anyway, long story longer. So here's the funny thing. So I tell you that to show you that that's just trauma that I've been through. But now let me tell you how the Lord uses that. So the Lord used that? Yeah, he did. Well, first off, of course, I go through childhood. You can go listen to Purpose, and you can see that I just gave you the 10,000 foot overview. I didn't even put that story in there, okay? So fast forward, so I'm 13, so I am 27 or 8. Okay, 27 or 8 years old. I'm a country music singer. I'm working for my software company. I think I'm like client services manager at the time, something like that. I'm making good money, probably 60,000 a year. I don't know. I'm divorced by this time because, and if you flash back to one of my other stories, because I met this witch, right? Because now at this point in time, I'm on drugs, I'm an alcoholic. And here's the deal, I didn't realize the whole time is that because, you know, there's these evil forces. So not only was I chosen by God and he put me in these circumstances and knowing full well he was going to just, oh, let me show you this, let me show you this, let me show you that, let me show you this, because I need you to come this direction, and the only way I can do it is if you choose me. Well, that's where the evil comes in, right? So the evil comes in, and I won't name any names here because I don't even like speaking her name, because it's almost like, you know, they'll manifest in some way, shape, or form. Although I'm so highly protected now, it's not even funny. You know why? Because I don't open any doors and I've closed them all. So there's nothing you can hold against me. I might cuss every now and then, and even then I go, oh, I'm sorry, Lord. You know what I mean? I'm Wade, repentant, Quentin immediately. If I get angry, you know, which is an open door. But anyway, I'll go into some of those things later so you can realize that you may be in some of these situations too. You may be chosen. And I follow this one girl, her name, I don't know her name, but her thing is Craft to Christ. Go look her up. She was an ex-witch that's converted. And then I follow this other girl named Kay Podgy. It's Podgee, something like that, who was also a lot like me in that she was an atheist that was Catholic and then turned Christian through analytical stuff, right? And I'm sure things happened to her. I don't know her whole story, but she's like me, very analytical, very going down rabbit hole stuff, and mind-blowing stuff too, by the way. And you're just like, no, that can't be real. I got to do some research. I do anyway. But anyway, I digress. But so here's the thing is, I believe that Team Evil, by the way, and there's a team of them. There's covens of witches. And here's the thing, I was an atheist at the time. I didn't believe in God, much less in witches and warlocks and all the other things. And I don't want to get into all the things that I know that I've studied deeply to see that, man. And here's the thing is, I don't understand that evil nature. It's not in my being. I'm a very highly aggressive, defensive fighter. I mean, if you attack me, you can guarantee that defense is going to come harsh. And I've told Lord, I said, I'm not a turn your other cheeker. And he said, I know, I made you that way on purpose. You're going to need to not turn your cheek because it's going to get crazy out there. And you don't even realize how many fights, how many attacks I've had. And it's because I have the light. I have the Holy Spirit. Even when I wasn't a believer, he was still there. I fell 45 feet out of a tree. People don't live falling 45 feet out of a tree. I smashed my face into a pole at 35 miles an hour on the day my son was born. And if I wouldn't have hit that pole, I'd have went 35 feet off a cliff into a dry rock bed. I'm just telling you, man, he got angels around me going, yeah, but no, he can't. Yeah, like Job, you can do everything but kill him. Destroy all that he loves, but you can't kill him. And I'm still going to use him, right? Matter of fact, he needs to go through those things so he can go, Lord, okay, I need your help, right? And that's where we're at. And that's, anyway, so fast forward. I hate myself at the time, right? I'm like I said, I'm 28 years old. I'm doing well. I mean, from the outside looking in, you would think, man, this guy's got it. I mean, he's making money. He's got, cars, trucks, whatever. Anyway, but I hate myself, and I'm suicidal at the time. But anyway, so I have the same buddy that was there when I got hit in the head. And I wanted to mention a little bit about Team Evil, about how do they know that you're chosen? How do they know you have the light, right? Well, there's these energies, but I also believe because they talk to the dead, right? The dead are outside of time, so they conjure up spirits and they go, well, who is it we need to look at? And you need to look away, Quentin. They'll bring you in and target me. You don't know how many times I've walked into a bar and people just ugly, poison people, right? Or he'll put an assignment on me like the one I'm in now, where the demonic is right here and I have to deal with it, right? And it's taught me lessons I can't learn any other way. Same thing with my dad, right? Where he pulled a gun on me twice. got a witness to one of them. The other one, I showed you the wall. The other witness is in the nursing home. But anyway, so I go to this, at this point in time, I'm going to stripper bars all the time, just because I got more money than I know what to do with. I hate my life, and so boobies fix everything, right? At this point in time, I'm not saying do that, but I felt justified. I could. I was a single man. I do whatever. I'm doing drugs at the same time too. I'm selling drugs. I'm with my buddy. We go into this topless bar, and I meet this stripper, and we start doing drugs and whatever. And next thing you know, we're hooking up and doing what evil people do, right? Bunch of debauchery and whatever. Anyway, she becomes my girlfriend. Well, I didn't know that she was a witch, right? I had no idea. Well, and I told you about the time where he said, you might be a country western singer, you might be this, that, and the other. You have to go look that one up. I can't remember what it is, but it's in my book, The Purpose, right? And where, you know, I go in, it's my very first day at church there, and he says all those things to me, and I'm like, oh my God. Well, again, I'm sitting there trying to prove God is wrong. This is all made up stuff, and there's not even witches and devils, because whatever, there's just people that do bad things. But now I know the truth, which is, yeah, there are witches, and there are evil people, and they are out to destroy guys like me, or try to. But good luck with that, because as you'll see through my story, and the reason I'm telling you my story is so you can see that God works for me. So anyway, let's go back. So I'm in all this debauchery. I probably not only have that girlfriend, but 4 or 5 others at the same time. And it's not that I'm this wonderful, beautiful guy. I was seeking validation. I just want to be loved, right? I've got a lot of things going, good and bad, right? And every time something good would happen, something bad would happen, and it was just craziness. But anyway, one day, this crazy woman, multiple times she would throw a fit, and I'd have to take her back to her grandma's house and say, you just don't, we're done, right? I was done with her like probably 20 times at least. But she's sexy and she was hot, and I love the girl. But then she'd go psychotic on me. She'd try to kill me like twice. Like, I woke up, I swear to God, one time I'm laying there like this, we're naked. We did our business. It's probably 3 o'clock in the morning, and I feel her crawling up on me, and I'm thinking, oh, we're gonna have sex again, right? And I wake up like this, and I open my eyes to see, and she's got a knife, and she's just like, I'm gonna kill you. And she comes down, and I grab her hand, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And I take her, and I'm like, all right, that's it. And here's how I knew, and this is terrible, but it's the truth. Every time I've ever had a psychotic girlfriend, and let me just tell you, I've had a bunch of them, but ones that I brought into my home to terrorize me and get me to the point where, because here's the devil, he's trying to get me to fail. He wants me either dead, in a psych ward, or in jail. That's where he wants me. But here's the thing, if I'm not dead, if I'm in a psych ward or a prison, guess what? I'm going to be preaching, period. And they've learned that the hard way, because I've been in jail and in psych wards and stuff like that, and brought people to Christ, and they're like, get him out. Anyway, so she does some crazy stuff. I've broken up with her 3 or 4 times, but here's the way I know. So when I start plotting your death, and I'm thinking, well, okay, I do know this beaver hole down on the coal pits where I can just, I can just kill her. I'll put her in this thing, and then, okay, I start thinking like that. Well, the Lord steps in and he goes, what you could do is you could just get another girlfriend that's not crazy. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably right. But anyway, so I take her home. I'm like, all right, we're done. Well, anyway, she does some crazy stuff at some of my shows. She shows up. She's throwing like shot glasses at me. Crazy stuff. I'm on stage playing. Here comes my crazy girlfriend in. You, Jake, throwing a shot glass at me. I'm like, security, get the crazy woman out of here, or I'm done for the night. And then what's nuts is that, so then they throw her out. Well, she breaks the window in my truck and sits in my truck. And I don't know. I'm playing the show all night. I'm doing my thing. Now it's time to pack up and leave, and boom, there she is in my truck. And I'm like, and I see my windows broken, and I'm like, I want to kill this woman. I want to grab her throat and just go, what are you doing? Right? Which is the guy I am. I mean, if you attack me, I'm that guy. I'm a beast. Just like my dad, right? Exactly. But so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know what? And I'm thinking, like, I just got to get home because I'm drunk. I'm on drugs. I've been playing all night. And I'm like, well, maybe this will go good because she obviously wants to have sex with me. She's trying to repair again. So I'm like, great. All right. Well, anyway, so we start going down the road. I've got a Charlie One Horse, brand spanking new cowboy hat. We're going down the road. We're at Pine and frickin' Yale. We just get out of whatever the name of that club was down there, Tumbleweeds, right? The most deadliest bar in frickin' Tulsa, Oklahoma at the time. And anyway, so I'm sitting there and she just grabs my hat and throws it out the window. Well, what I've learned from her is that she's trying to get a response out of me, right? So I'm just like, man, that was a nice hat. And then she's doing some other stuff, just trying to get me to go, shut the hell up before I beat your ass, right? That's what I want to do. But I know that that doesn't work. It just escalates even worse because that's what she's trying to do. That's the goal of the demonic. That's all they want you to do is to respond, right? And I've learned it well. I'm a game playing son of a gun now. You want to play games with me? I see the game because he tells me ahead of time now. Plus, I'm well trained because I've learned from experiences like this. So she does a couple other things. I don't remember what it was. Threw something else out, threw this out. And I'm like, you know what? I pull over. I'm right at Pine and Yale. And I try to grab her and I'm just going to throw her out of the truck and then drive off and just leave her right there. And I cannot get this woman out of the truck. Like I got her. I'm pulling her like this and she's got this and she's got her feet and whatever and I'm sitting there pulling her in the middle of the street and all I can think of is, okay, the cops are going to come and see this and we're all going to jail, which she put me in jail multiple times. That's how I broke my hand, was with one of her freaking crazy people in her life and I had to break his jaw. It's just terrible. I'll tell that story sometime too. But anyway, long story longer, I jump back in the truck. We're going to my house. And she is trying to tank me up still. And I'm just like, fine, let's just get to the house and whatever. Anyway, so we make it through the night. The next day, I'm like, I'm taking you to your grandma's. So I'm done with this. I'm not doing this anymore. And she's, yeah. And I'm just like, whatever, get in the truck. We're going. And she's willing because she's wanted it to be over too, I think. It's part of this demonic, I'm going to love them and then destroy them and love them and destroy them. That's part of their whole little game is that, you know, it's demonic. There's some sites out there that show you all these things that they do and their spells and so forth and what the purpose is behind them. Trust me, I've studied them well and I've lived every single one of them. The whole, I won't even get into it. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm taking her home. I have like 5 fishing tackle boxes behind my seat of my truck. And it's thousands of dollars worth of equipment. It's, I've got a Shimano Band Magnemite GT Plus and reel in there. I've got an extra one. I've got all kinds of lures that are, you know, $6-7 a piece. And it's 3 like tackle boxes just like this. And then I've got another little tackle box that sits like right there. That's, you know, whatever. So anyway, we're driving home and I'm not saying a word. I'm trying not to respond at all. We're driving. She grabs my tackle box and just throws it out the window. All the tackle. And I'm just like, all I'm thinking is, I guess that's time for me to get some new tackle. She starts grabbing the ones in the back and I'm trying not to respond at all. Although this is breaking my heart because I love to fish. These are all hand-picked lures that a lot of expensive stuff in there. And 1 tackle box, 2 tackle boxes, 3 tackle boxes, they're all going out the window, right on Highway 75 going home. Anyway, near downtown. Anyway, no, coming from Sand Springs. Anyway, 64, I guess it is. She throws out umpteen tackle boxes, and I'm just like, we finally get to her grandma's house, and I'm like, see you later, love you, bye. She gets out, see you later, love you, bye. All right, 2 weeks goes by. She's throwing out all my tackle. I go get another tackle box and whatever because I got money and I'm doing whatever. And you know, and I fish regularly. I live on Shell Creek Lake at the time. Anyway, in Sand Springs. So in a meth lab of all places. But anyway, so time flies by. So we're done, right? She and I are done yet again for the 15th time. I don't know, out of 20. So this kept happening because I'm an idiot, obviously, and a glutton for punishment. But here's the funny thing is I always expect, well, maybe now this has changed and dumb. Okay, do some more drugs. Anyway, so I'm playing tumbleweeds yet again, and I meet this other girl, and I ended up taking her home with me, right? Well, my psychotic girlfriend she knows I'm playing. She knows I'm coming home at 2:30 at night, whatever. I really believe this was a setup. Like, this is one of her friends, and it's part of this witch coven. And why don't you do this, and we'll do this and do that, and see if we can destroy him. Yeah. Anyway, so I bring her all the way to Shell Creek to my meth lab, and like, this is the first night I've met this girl and everything. And anyway, very beautiful girl, and and of course my intentions are not pure. It's like, woo, here we go, score another one up. 573. No, I'm just kidding. Probably not, but I don't know. Anyway, so I pull in the driveway, and I notice that my lights are on at my house, and I'm thinking, what in the hell, you know? And of course, I'm like, I look and I notice that my air conditioner is out of the window, and I got a gun, you know, I always carried a gun with me, and I'm thinking, oh man, someone's in my house, I'm gonna have to kill somebody today, is all I can think of. And then, so I'm like, you wait here, and I get out, I'm getting ready to get out of my truck, and then all of a sudden my front door opens, and it's my crazy girlfriend, butt naked, standing there, and she points at me, and she goes, you take that whore home. And I'm like, and she's like, who is that? And I'm like, that's my crazy girlfriend. I said, I better take you home because she's psychotic. She'll kill both of us. And she goes, you take that whore home and you come back here to me. And I'm like, oh, great. So now I'm just deflated. I'm like, I am so sorry. I got to take you home. I said, because, you know, and I'm thinking, well, maybe we should just go get a hotel room, whatever. But no, because otherwise my house will be burnt down by the time I get home. Anyway, so I take her home. It's 4:00 in the morning now. I come home, and she's just cheering and whatever, and we make love all night and into the morning, and it starts over again, right? So, all right, now let me tell you how God works in all this, because that's the devil at work right there. If you can't tell that that's evil, demonic, and I'm telling you, all these things happened to me, and I was like, all I was looking for was sex, to tell you the truth. I was addicted to that. And anyway, so because I needed love, right? I needed connection. Now I have love and I have connection. I don't need nothing. I'm so good. Anyway, maybe I'm just kidding. So she goes, 2 weeks go by, right? We're off and on again in that 2 weeks. Drop her off at her grandma's house. One day I come home from a show again, and I learned not to bring girls to the house. I think that was the lesson she was trying to do, is to discourage me. So I would just have sex with them in the parking lot or go to their house or whatever, which is terrible, I know. But anyway, so then I'd go home, and I come home this one time, and here she is again. And I'm like, great. But she's like, I brought you a gift. And I'm like, what is the gift? And here's the Lord. So she threw out all my tackle boxes, right? Well, her and her mother and her grandma were going garage sailing, and they found, she bought 5 tackle boxes, right? Some old man selling all these tackle boxes. Well, in that tackle box is a brand spanking new, like this was in good shape, like when I was 26. So I'm 57 now. So this is 30 some odd years ago, right? I'm 28, I guess then. She brings me this rod and reel, or this reel. Well, she brings me these tackle boxes, and first off, I open them all up, and there's like this old tackle, like, you know, from the 40s and stuff, which if I'd have known the value of that stuff then, like, I was like, this stuff's all worthless. This is, you know, but today it's classic stuff worth a lot of money, even just to hang on the wall, because they were that old kind of stuff. But I was like, yeah, this isn't a Rapala, this isn't a MEPS, this isn't, you know what I mean? Didn't even know what I had. But then I opened the very last tackle box, and what do I see but a Garcia Mitchell, and it used to have a little case and everything, with it had 3 rolls. It had this reel, or the spool on it. It had 2 extra spools on it. And I was like, oh my God. And that's when the Lord was like, ah, and I was like, oh my God. And I just burst into tears because I'm crying, because I flash back to when I was 13 years old. My dad beat me because I broke his prized possession, right? And then, so what's crazy about that is, if that wasn't crazy enough for you, so my dad wasn't even talking to me at this point in time, because I was a drug addict, I was divorced, he wanted to have my grandkids, so he's being used as a pawn in all of this with my ex-wife, because Way Quinton's a bad guy and blah blah blah. And of course she's corrupting my children's perspective about me. Although when they come see me, we just have a great time, and I'm not on drugs. And they don't even know that. All they know is what their mothers told them about me, about how I'm a terrible guy. But every experience they've ever had with me, I mean, look at the videos that we have. Any of the videos that we have, I'm a great father, just for the record. Matter of fact, I paid $2,000 a month for 18 plus years for both of them. Okay, I had it adjusted one time when I wasn't making that kind of money, but I'm just telling you, I got the records to prove it. Anyway, doesn't matter. And then of course her taking my kids to another state, so I couldn't even see them, because that's that narcissistic evil, and the devil will use anybody and everybody. Used my own father against me, right? Anyway, the guy that beat me in the head, I call him up. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? It's like a Saturday. He said, hey, what do you want? I'm like, hey, I got something over here that I bought, and I'd like to give it to you. I'm like, Dad, really, if you would please just come over. I said, it'll take 2 minutes. I'm just going to show you, and you can take it and leave. Or freaking. So he comes over. He's about maybe 15 minutes away. He comes over. He opens the door, and I said, Dad, remember that Garcia Mitchell? I said, here, I fixed it. And he looks at it, and he's like, he's like, oh my God, like I'm getting chill bumps just telling you about it. It makes me want to cry again. Because he remembered what he did. He knew. And it was God showing up going, see? Now, where's the good in that? It's because vengeance is mine, says the Lord, right? And it was crushing, to say the least. But how crazy is that? Then, here's the nuts part of it. So then, I moved 4 trucks of Dad's stuff to my house. And after he passed, I'm packing up and going through some of his stuff. And I find this. And I wanted to throw up. But now, I find this yesterday. And I'm like, because the Lord's been putting this on me, you tell that story. And I'm just like, I don't know if I even want to tell that one. It's a long one, and it sucks. And anyway, he shows me this, and then I find it in that box yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? I am going to tell that story. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fix this handle, and I'm going to use this fishing pole, and I'm going to catch some big fish, and I'm going to share that too and say, see, that's what I would have caught that day. And the crazy thing about it is that this is a left-handed one, just like he had, because he liked the left-handed ones. Anyway, isn't that nuts? Either I'm telling you the truth or I'm lying through my teeth. But just know this, is that I had to go through all of those experiences because it was those things that, as an analyst and being in drugs and being in debauchery and whores and just craziness, man, violent craziness too. And I hurt a lot of people, and that's not why I'm crying. These are tears of joy that, wow, I made it through that alive. Because my dad pulled that same gun that he pulled on me. I forgot to mention that part. The same gun that he pulled on me twice in my own house. He pulled on me once at his house when I went over there, because on Christmas Day, I'm taking presents over to my kids. I bought all this stuff for Christmas. I'm taking it over to my ex-wife's apartment at Apple Creek in Sand Springs, and I knock on the door, and there's nobody there. She's moved out. My dad knew it. He knew it. Matter of fact, he was keeping it all silent and whatever. And so I go over to his house, like, where in the hell are they at? I got all these presents for her. She goes, she moved to Arizona. And I'm like, really? And I was so livid. I was so heartbroken. It crushed me. But that's what she wanted, because I'm the bad guy, right? And I forgive her, because I get it. She was a tool of the devil, and she still is. But that's okay, because here's the beautiful thing. Here's the thing, is that the Lord, vengeance is the Lord's. Trust me. And I don't wish anything bad on anybody, but I've had to give it to him. I just say, Lord, you're going to have to take this, because trust me, multiple times I plotted her death too. Like, because I had everything in the world. Yeah, you're going to take my kids from me, I'll just kill you. I've even told my kids this, and I wanted to so bad. But thank God I didn't, and that's what the Lord would step in every time and just go, yeah, but, look, but. And I'm like, yeah. Because he knew that it was going to be these times, right? But I forgive you. And anyway, I go over to his house, and I'm pissed. And I'm like, Dad, I can't believe you're on her side and this, that, and the other. Because it's called triangulation when you're in narcissism. Look that up, because she's a narcissist. And they use other people to triangulate. That's why I had to cut off all my people. I just like, you know what? You can't triangulate if we don't talk at all. And I'm not going to talk to anybody, because you're not going to use anything I say. If you want to know what I'm doing, follow my, I don't have Instagram or Facebook, so follow my YouTube. I'm going to tell you my stories, and I'm going to tell you the truth. And I don't care if I hurt anybody's feelings at all. It hurts my feelings, but I want to tell you these things because he told me to tell you. He told me to. I don't know how many followers I got. I don't even look. I don't even care. It's not about following me. It's about telling my story for his glory, so that I could say, yeah, I've been to hell and back. I go to my dad's house. He pulls that gun on me. You better get out of my yard or I'll kill you. You come over here again, threatening me with this, that, and the other. I'll shoot you dead. I brought you in this world. And I was like, then I could have jumped up. I could have taken that gun and I could have beat his ass. And I wanted to so bad. But I was so crushed that I just went, all right, Dad, I love you. Thanks. I appreciate it. And I really wish you would kill me. But do it when I'm not looking. Like when I'm walking off, shoot me in the back, would you? And just say, and you know what? I forgive my dad. And I told him on his deathbed, And that's the whole deal here, is that you wait. I'm going to tell you some stories. This is one of a lot. Mind-blowing experiences. They're miraculous, to tell you the truth. I mean, think about just the ones I've told you so far. The selling of the house, that was a miracle. The way it worked. If it worked the way exactly I told you, and it did, that's exactly how it worked, then that's a miracle. The falling out of the tree and not dying, that's a miracle. I want to tell that story too. The smashing my face into the pole on the day my son was born, that's a miracle too. But I want to tell you the pre-context of why were you not even there when he was being born? Well, there you go. I want to tell you all those things. And that's, again, just the devil at work trying to destroy me. Here's what he wants. He wants you to steal, kill, and destroy. So he steals everything that you love. He wants you to kill other people or yourself, because he's destroyed all that you love. And so he's hoping that you'll destroy yourself. And trust me, I've been right here time and time again, more than once, in that same meth lab house, because I was dating a witch. Oh, and how did I find out she was a witch? Let me finish with that. I found out she was a witch because I had these, what do you call them, deer antlers that I used for rattling, and I was going to go deer hunting one time, and I was looking for my deer antlers, and I found one of them, and I'm like, honey, have you seen my other deer antler? And she's like, you could just see it on her face, like, oh, dang it, you needed that? And I'm like, what did you do with my deer antler? And she's like, oh, she said, I gave it to my mom. I'm like, what's your mom doing with my deer antler? And she goes, she needed it for a potion. And I'm like, was it gonna do it for what? I said, I can't rattle with one freaking thing. Like, I'm not even going into a potion, because she was a witch, right? Doing love spells on me, doing these crazy, stupid things, which, by the way, I'm going to end with this, I promise. If you are a witch, warlock, evil, Satanist, you might want to go back and talk to some of these people. You probably know who they are. Because, again, I'll say it again and time again. He picked me. I didn't sign up for this. It's called chosen for a reason. I choose you. The Lord says that, right? And then what's he do with that? He says, and yeah, he's like, you can go against him all you want to, but now I've closed the doors. I've severed all the ties. I'm walking with the Lord. I'm in it daily, nonstop, 24/7, 365. You can do all your astral projection and so forth, and here's what I say, Lord, anything that they sinned against me, let it come back on them tenfold, because vengeance is yours, Lord. I don't know that they're doing it. I don't know that it's going back, but I promise you this. you'll see your people dying off. Whatever you've wished on me, you'll see that stuff happening to you, because when it can't land somewhere, that energy has to go somewhere. And when it can't land on me, because I'm protected. How am I protected? By the word. I've eaten it. I've lived it. I'm fully submitted 1,000%. You know why? Because I'm in a battle. Because I'm chosen. And they hate my guts. And guess what? Here's what's crazy. They hate my guts. Some of my closest people that have been in my life hate my guts. Jealousy, envy. I don't know why, because it's not like I'm this rich and famous person, and I say that in jest a lot, but I'm a new kind of rich. Doesn't even involve money, right? I'm just taken care of. I'm provided for. And I don't want or need the same things that I needed. But I'll just say this: he's the one that says, "That's my guy." Be best not to mess with him, but do your worst. Here's the deal: I know where I'm going to be on the other side of the veil. If by chance you do succeed, you know what I mean? But here's the thing: is I love you regardless, just like he does. He wants you to make the choice. That's why he's assigned you to me, so he can go, well, this guy here, listen to his story. Look what I've brought him out of. Look how he is today. He might be crying one second, but I promise you, on the inside, he's full of joy, peace, long-suffering. Bennett, you know what I mean? Anyway, know that I love you, and even if I don't talk to you. Because here's the deal: I'm also very analytical. I know the games. I've studied and studied and studied and studied, because he gives me stuff. He tells me stuff. Hey man, you should probably go look through all that stuff underneath the porch. Oh man, I don't want to do that. And he'll just, matter of fact,